Hello, hello. My name is Brittany.
And I'm Kate.
And we are
The Fools.
Join us as we explore everything spiritual, astrological, and overall mystical.
Don't forget to follow your intuition, but more importantly, follow us at The Fools. Welcome back to The Fools podcast.
We're excited to have you here.
Mid-March.
It is mid-March.
Spring.
How's that March meditation challenge going, guys?
You know, I have struggled a little. Not gonna
I have
lie.
struggled quite a lot, actually. And I'm wondering if I bit off more than I could chew. But I'm not going to ruminate on that. I'm not going to let that deter me.
Yeah, let it fuel you.
Yes. I'm trying. But I think the beginning is the hardest of any journey, right?
Right.
So don't feel
Just
discouraged.
getting started, taking the first step, building a
habit
practice. Yeah, it's hard.
It's really hard. So hope you guys are doing great. Sorry we missed last week. I was in Mexico. It was fun.
Yacht.
I was on a yacht. I was in the jungle. I was doing all the things. I did get food poisoning.
Yeah.
I am a little bit of a struggle bus right now, but
R.I.P. to your bowels, but
we're coming back, baby, better than ever eventually.
back at
Not
it.
today, but
Hopefully tomorrow.
hopefully tomorrow.
And Virgo full moon.
Virgo full moon is
Friday.
on Friday, and it also symbolizes the end of the astrological year.
So I guess this is going up Monday, but it's still in the air.
Yeah, it's still there. It's like the beginning of Aries season, which is the first sign, the first cyclical sign in the. I always want to say horoscopes, but like
In the
astrology,
astrological.
I feel like horoscopes is like people reading the signs. Like
Yeah.
you look at your horoscope in the newspaper.
Like in the astrological calendar.
Yes,
maybe?
that's what I was
Okay.
trying to say.
Yeah. So we're coming into Aries season. We're about to have almost a new year. Well, it is a new year.
Yeah.
Astrologically.
I was gonna do a little intention setting for the new year, new money bowl.
Oh fuck yeah.
That type of stuff.
Clear the altar.
I was gonna try to clear my chakras.
Oh.
Feeling a little unbalanced, especially in the root. If you know what I mean.
How are you going to do that? Meditating on the chakras?
Yeah, I was gonna meditate with focusing on the chakra and each chakra is associated with color. So I was trying to think of that color filling that chakra, that location in my body, and then holding onto a stone I have that is connected to that chakra.
I love that.
Yeah.
Ooh, I want to do that shit.
Yeah,
I
do
really
it.
want to get well, this is kind of a good segue into our subject because I definitely want to get a tuning fork. I just loved that shit when
I want you to get one too, just so I
Raven
can
hit
experience
me
it.
with it. I was just like, doing into the unknown.
I am a new
Yeah,
betcha.
it was so good. Some people though they don't enjoy that sensation. So
Really? I've never experienced it. So yeah, today we are talking about the tools of the trade.
yeah, we're kind of just gonna go through briefly some things you might have, things we might have already done an episode on as well.
And might do more deep dive episodes in the future, but we just wanted to give a little dictionary options of different things. Oh, I love that. A glossary of things you could buy to up your witchcraft game. But again, nothing is necessary. I feel like we talked about this a lot in the altars episode. Don't feel like you have to go run out and buy all these things. And if you don't have them, then you're not doing it right, or you won't advance in your witchcraft or your spirituality. That's not what we're saying at all. This is just if you're feeling, you want to buy something fun for yourself and add to your collection. Here are some options that have resonated with people throughout time.
And I also want to say, looking this up, there was a little blog post called, The Thrifted Witch, and she was come with me to find tools at, Goodwill. And so she was, going to Salvation Army Goodwill to find some things that she could use at her altar and for her practice. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I was watching another girl. I forgot her YouTube channel. I could link it, but she was saying how she buys most of her stuff from the dollar store. And I actually have a bunch of crystal bowls, what I use my money bowl for, and where I hold incense and candles, all from the dollar store. So you don't have to buy the most expensive thing to have it resonate and look good and feel good in your practice.
And like if you have any wholesaling districts in your city, like I went to the flower district today, hence my fun ass buns. If you're just listening, I have cute flowers in my hair. Maybe you should go to the YouTube to see them.
And subscribe. Anyway.
Yeah, like you can get wholesale candles, wholesale vases, like bowls, so many cool things if you just want to like also a fun little day date for yourself.
Yeah, those are so important.
Explore your city.
This might be a 2-parter episode. We shall see when the time comes, because I wrote a lot of stuff. I had a lot of fun with this list.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is I just kind of ended up listing and was like...
It never ends.
Yeah, really. There's just so much stuff you could really... So many places you can go with this.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the easiest ones to start with that is really accessible for everyone is a journal and a pen and paper. I feel like spirituality and witchcraft, in an essence of itself, is working on yourself and connecting to yourself. And one of the best ways to do that is writing, reflecting, manifesting, gratitude lists, that type of stuff. So having a journal that you know is like your little book of shadows, or just something you can do like the morning pages in. If you guys don't know what that is, it's like you just write 3 pages of subconscious blah just to get it out of the way. It's also great for like writing a spell down and burning it, or, you know, leaving notes for yourself. Like I used to write like affirmations and put them on my mirror when I was hating on myself.
Even like doodles, like I'm a big doodler. I just doodle in the margins left and right.
It's important. And I started like, I used to love drawing as a kid, and I kind of just gave it up as I became an adult and was like, you know, I have to take my life seriously and like
go to work.
Yeah, and be boring. And I recently got this agenda, and now every new moon I like I look forward to pulling a tarot and then drawing that tarot card and like, I don't know, figuring it out that way or reflecting through that. And I just feel like we've forgotten to like find that childlike fun.
Yeah, I love connecting with my inner child. There's so many ways to do that. And yeah, like doodling, drawing, like playing, like me just even putting these flowers in my hair. I mean, I am going to a 5-year-old birthday later, but it helps me lean into that childlike wonder. I put fucking glitter on my face. Like I am here for it.
Yeah. So another thing you can get more specific with a journal is a grimoire, which is not necessary. It's more like an encyclopedia that you create for yourself. I feel like the definition I found as a grimoire is like a book of spells or something that you keep for yourself in your researches. So I think like for me personally, I have a journal that's more like a diary, or that I can just, you know, brain poop on. There has to be a better term for that. Yeah, that sounds nicer than brain poop, but poops on the brain.
Gotta jump.
But I have a really fancy journal that I'm just so attracted to. It's like has gold flakes all in it. Yes, I want to bang it. It has roses on it. And so when I look at it, I want to write in it and do spell work. So I have like...
It's like a magical journal.
Yes. So anytime I've created a spell I resonated with, or I write down like a log of all my crystals and their properties, those types of things, I think is really fun to keep track of in your grimoire.
I should get a grimoire. I didn't know that word before, and I know it now.
I only knew it... Well, I knew it from Charmed. I loved that show. And
I also loved it. But...
in my research, it's like Book of Shadows, grimoire, those type of things. It's all...
cute.
Encompassing. Yeah, and it's like one that you can... If it's like a journal that you... or a diary that you think is like really beautiful, you can kind of showcase it on your altar.
Sometimes I get into this trap where I feel like the journal is too beautiful.
Yes, and then when I like mess up a word, I'm like,
or like I have to cross it out. Like this idea is not good enough to be in this journal.
Yeah. I have gotten that way with my grimoire, where I'm like, I haven't added it to it in a while, and I'm like, but what if I don't resonate with the spell, or like, oh, I don't want to start a new page of crystals, but I'm like, what the. Brittany, you're the only person looking at this.
You're literally the only person.
Why are you a psycho? Yeah. But I do get that that feeling sometimes.
Because I buy nice journals and then I'll write like 1 or 2 pages and then be like, nothing feels like it fits in that journal.
Yeah, you gotta let that go.
I do.
Because then you're just gonna be collecting paper.
I do. I literally will like flip through these nice ass journals and I'll like have done like a quarter of it and been like, okay, well, I don't want to write in my 2016 journal.
Yeah, it's hard. The brain dump journals I go through. I burned one at your house. Like, those ones I'll fill up, but my grimoire, I'm like 1 page a month, maybe. Yeah. Like, I'm like, oh, it has to really resonate with me. But you could always write stuff down and then later on buy a different grimoire, like, as you age.
Yeah.
I don't know why we
feel that way?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll just let go of that.
It's like pretty things. Speaking of, I said altar. An altar is another tool that you could have, which we have a whole episode on altars.
So tune into that.
So go find that. We're not going to really like deep dive into it, but it's just a sacred space in your home that you can practice your spirituality and witchcraft.
You can add elements to it, take away colors, change it up, offerings. So go listen to that episode.
Yeah. And basically all the tools we're talking about can be stored in or around your altar.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be,
but yeah, like, or in a bookcase or drawer. Like, we don't want your altar to like take up your whole fucking house.
Your house becomes your altar.
I mean, kind of is.
Yeah, it's not wrong. Another thing I wrote that's like pretty basic is incense. I feel like I could not practice my witchcraft without incense. It just sets the mood, baby.
Yeah, I love incense. Like, I just am a little whore for incense. I don't know how else to put it. Same. My favorite one right now is Wolf Spirit.
Ooh.
From
The Green Man?
Yeah, The Green Man. And also, I got these feng shui ones. They weren't from Green Man. They were just like regular old boxed incense. And I'm really digging it because they are like different colors for different kind of like elements. And I'm like, oh.
I like that. The colors. I love incense. The aroma like just puts me in a state of like focus. But also I love viewing the smoke. Like, it's another way I like to meditate is just watching the tendrils of smoke make different shapes. And if you're really like deep into witchcraft, I know that sometimes some people can interpret the smoke to mean different things. I'm not there in my practice, but I just think it's beautiful, kind of like flame watching. You could also do smoke cleansing with incense, especially because I know something that's a little controversial in the witchcraft world is smoke cleansing with white sage, even Palo Santos. So if you really just want to make sure you're respectful and you're not really sure where you're sourcing your stuff from, because you can ethically source these things, but if you're not sure, then incense is a great way to be able to still incorporate smoke into your practice.
And I like resins. So they're like they look like hard little candies. I really like copal resin, and that goes on a coal. Yes. And so I think that's also a great smoke practice. There's a ton of other resins, like frankincense or like little mixtures or whatever. So
they have little powder ones too that you can put on a coal.
That's a great way too if you don't want to use white sage or Palo Santo.
Yeah. Speaking of burning things for safety, cauldron.
Oh my God, we need to get one.
I have been thinking about getting a cauldron forever, and I just keep putting it off, and then I want to do something that's like slightly dangerous, and I'm like, it would be useful. It's a freaking cauldron.
Yeah.
Because you really, if you're doing any sort of fire magic, you don't want to jeopardize your safety, guys. That is
number one.
And a cauldron is a great fire safe tool. You can literally put the coals inside of it.
And the cauldron has like a cast iron top, so if things start getting too sketchy, you can just plop that top right on.
Cut it out.
Yeah.
And I like, a lot of times we see that you can burn things to let it go, like whether it's written on a piece of paper or a bay leaf. And it's nice to be able to drop that into something, because if you're holding on to it, even with tweezers, it can get a little scary, a little dicey.
Sketch.
Yeah, sketch ball change. So a cauldron is a fun one. You also, I saw, could put water in it. And do like scrying, or if you needed a place to like bring water as an element into your house, a cauldron can be used for that too. But another way to do water would be a chalice or a cup. It doesn't have to be that fancy, but it can be if you want it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. People put offerings in chalices for their, ancestors or deities and stuff like that. Sometimes you can find just like a cute crystal from the thrift store that's like, okay, cool. I have a Crystal Head vodka bottle. Yeah. It's like a skull, and I just think it's super cool looking. So I'm like, all right, here's my moon water.
I have this like rainbow crystallized shot glass, and when I do offerings, I take shots. I'm like, hey.
When I offer my ancestors vodka,
I offer them wine. Hey, a little.
You got a little pick-me-up.
Who doesn't like a little wine? You know,
The
wine
ancestors
and chocolate.
do. Oh yeah,
I did that, and I was like, "You're welcome."
Yeah. You're welcome. I better hear some sick messages soon. They're just like eating the cookie and they're like, shut the fuck up.
They're like, actually, we don't drink.
Yeah. They're like, we actually come from a line of alcoholics, so you better put this away.
Yeah, we're sober.
Bells.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You love bells. Don't you have one?
No, I don't have a bell. I have a little whistle.
Oh, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a similar... It's a sound.
Yes,
or whatever.
sounds can be cleansing. Like clapping is cleansing sound. Mm-hmm. And, you know, hurts healing sounds, singing bowls.
Yeah.
Tuning fork is technically a sound as well.
Yeah, I wrote that down. Yeah, like bells are great. I feel like bells are like in history of spirituality. Like even, what is that Christmas movie? It's like, every time a bell rings, an angel gets their wings.
A Christmas Story?
Is that it? Or Christmas Carol? So. I don't know. One of those old black and white movies. But I mean, it just goes to show you the tradition has gone on for so long. So
people like to put bells on their doors.
Yeah, they say it banishes evil spirits from like being able to enter. Because sound is really protecting. So you could use it in a multitude of ways. Same with sound bowls. It's another just way to cleanse energy. Kind of get into a meditative state. I feel like tuning forks are like an even deeper level of that because do they usually touch you with them? That's what I thought, but I've never experienced a tuning fork.
I think sometimes they put it right next to your ear so you can hear it, but then I think, you know, also cause you can place the bottom of it like on you. I don't feel like no one's ever used it on me besides Raven, so I don't really know what a stranger would do.
But you have that experience at least.
But yeah, I really, really enjoyed it, so I think I want to get one. And also the different frequencies like can help with different things. So you just have to do a little bit of research when you're, you know, purchasing what kind of singing bowl you want or what kind of, you know, tuning fork.
Yeah, I put high vibration is a cleansing vibe and low vibration is a grounding vibe. So if you just kind of meditate on it, you can always figure out what you need or what you're lacking and then use vibrations and sound to help balance yourself back out. I think that's really powerful.
And it's really powerful for you to like even identify it in the first place of what you need. Yeah. That's like a deep connection with yourself.
Another really popular tool that me and Kate did a whole episode on is crystals.
Yes, bitch.
I feel like crystals is a gateway drug of deep diving into witchcraft. They are just so beautiful.
We are so powerful. Like inherently like on a cellular level, I feel like just attracted to shiny, beautiful minerals.
Yes. As we should be.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're like literally calling to us. Yeah. And we're just like,
and they balance you out. They can be used in so many ways. But again, we have a literal whole episode on crystals. And that wasn't
even enough.
Yeah, I could talk about crystals forever.
I know.
I love them.
And we even talked about a lot with Carly as well in that episode. We're just crystal bitches. I don't know.
We are crystal witches above anything else.
My goal, I feel like if I'll make it in life, is when I can have just like one of those big fucking amethysts in like my front garden.
Yes. And just that is my goal. Like
the
ones that are literally like as tall as you.
One big enough to like sit inside of ?
Yes. Maybe a tub form. I am totally down. A quartz tub.
I'm so into it. And like materials, because like in interior design, I'm also just like so drawn to natural elements, and that includes just like fucking rocks, dude.
Yeah.
Just rocks.
Rocks are dope. And speaking of rocks, acorns, twigs, sticks, those types of things can also be used in your spell work, your tools, your altars. It doesn't always have to be something you buy. It could just be like you saw a sick shell at the beach and like you want that to be like a representation of water.
Or like on a walk, you saw like a really cool flower that had fallen, because it's kind of rude to pluck it, but
if it's there,
if it's, you know, whatever. I buy flowers all the fucking time.
I literally buy flowers every time I go to the grocery store. They just make you happy.
I used to be like so mean about buying flowers, when I was younger.
To yourself or to others?
No, I just thought like, ugh, it's so dumb if a guy gets you flowers. Like, why doesn't he get you something you can use? Like, I just was like, they just die, blah, blah, blah.
They're going to die like my love for you.
And I was like, wow, like, what a... Like, I just feel like I was being a little materialistic there. Or like, because, you know what? I'm older now and I'm like, there's the journey of the flower. And like, the flower being there just to hang with me, make my space feel a little bit better. Like,
it doesn't. I feel
that's
like
enough.
I was similar to you, but in the sense of I was so frugal that I couldn't figure out why I would ever buy flowers, because I knew they would die and it's like a waste of money and like blah, blah, you know, me getting into like that cycle of things. And now I realize it's okay that they die if they bring you happiness for a point in time. Like, I'm kind of glad, I'm not glad that they die, like, but it's nice because it's like, okay, I was really attracted to these red flowers that I have them right now, and then the next little season or week of my life I might need something else to balance out my mood. Colors are such a powerful part of spirituality and witchcraft, so whatever you can infuse in your space that way is really going to affect you.
Yeah, and even like actual symbolism of like, I don't know, posters or just things that you want to embody or like bring you happiness. Those are really great things to incorporate in your altar and even in your
Space.
Spell book, maybe. Like, maybe you're putting like some like pressed flowers or like a taped picture of a magazine and like get weird with it, man.
Yeah. I was watching this one YouTuber witch, and she was saying how she loves to buy clay, and she'll just always make little coins or with like symbols in them or little statues, and it just like really resonates with her. So you can always find little things that are really personal to you like that, especially in crafts work. It's really great to use your hand. Maybe you're into beading, maybe you're into sewing, maybe you're into drawing or painting, like we were saying. It's just the possibilities are endless. And anytime you're using your hands, I feel like, and fully focused in it in like a meditative state, I feel like it's really spiritual.
Yeah, I actually just learned about from my friend Sin's Instagram, like neurographic art, which is kind of like a meditative art where you kind of just draw like different lines and they cross, and then you like color it in intuitively, but it's just like a chill
I've never done that,
to use your hands in a meditative like art therapy kind of thing.
and it's not like there's no pressure to have
Something
it end up be good.
Yeah.
I feel like that's really important, because we always just want to be like the best at everything we do all the time, which is such a funny societal pressure we all put on ourselves.
Yeah, how can we be the best at something we literally just started doing?
Yeah, that we've never done before in our lives. Humans are crazy. Anyway, we talked about the chalice and the cup and the cauldron and water. Something I wrote down, which also can be used with mirrors, is scrying. Have you heard of scrying?
Is that just like, so you're scrying with smoke, you're just like seeing images?
So yeah, scrying, what I've found, is a form of divination that involves staring into a reflective surface. So it could be looking in a mirror.
Oh, like the crystal ball.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. So that's kind of like
where that comes
from is like, let me look into my crystal ball.
The trope.
But they're scrying and they're looking into a reflective surface. But that could be, you know, a mirror, literally, or a bowl of water, or a flame if it has shapes in it. It's kind of like finding images in things. So that's why you can scry and smoke and stuff like that as well. So I wrote down mirror.
I used to do that as a child with my popcorn ceilings. When I would get
scrying with popcorn ceilings.
When I would get a bath, my mom would like be washing my hair, and I would just have like be staring at the ceiling and looking at shapes. Is that scrying or is that imaginative?
I think so. It said like
you're also
visions.
Like such a little witch when you're a kid.
Yes,
like you're so in touch with whatever the fuck's going on the other side.
You have no worries yet about all the things that like hold us down and make us very like stuck
and small.
Yeah, I feel like that could have been like the beginning of scrying, but I feel like scrying is looking for shapes and stuff with an intention behind it. So if you're like have a question, kind of like with tarot, like you could like look through tarot cards, or you could like have a question or an intention and look for an answer through it. So mirrors are really interesting, and mirrors are also crazy portals.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful making sure you cleanse your mirrors properly and
have not too many in your house. That's overwhelming.
And ones that are like you feel connected to and safe with. So that's important.
So check back, and if there's some sketchy ass mirrors in your house, maybe just take them to Goodwill.
Yeah, I have one hand mirror that an ex-boyfriend gave me.
Ew.
And he was a good
Curse.
He was a good boy. It wasn't a bad relationship, but I had forgotten about it because it was like a very old antique mirror and he just thought it looked sick, so he bought it for me. And I still have it because I feel like I can't get rid of it because it's like a mirror. So I smoked cleansed it, and then I did like with my moon water some like dots on it and like did counterclockwise closing it to make sure it wasn't like an open portal. But I have it under my altar, and I'm just like and I look at myself every night and I say how beautiful I am. No, and I don't know, it's like weird because I feel like I can't get rid of it and I don't know why, but I'm also like kind of afraid to use it.
I would just like, that's a push and pull that I don't feel comfortable with. I don't know, like if
maybe I should ask a pendulum.
Okay, yeah, next tool, pendulum.
And that's what we call a clean segue, baby.
And then what's it called? The pendulum chart or map, or whatever, where you can like have the map out, lift the pendulum, and then it says like yes, no, whatever, maybe.
Whatever request. So,
but also it's, what is it if it's going right?
So I watched this pendulum video in the car because I didn't really know much about them, and it was interesting because she was like, what you could do is say like, show me my yes. Yeah. And then see if the pendulum moves like clockwise, counterclockwise, horizontal,
or like back and forth.
Yeah. So whatever, and that becomes your yes. And then it's like, show me my no. And then you ask it questions like, is my name Brittany? And make sure that, you know.
You're like calibrating.
Yes, exactly. You're kind of fine tuning it so it's really connecting to you before you ask it other questions.
Yeah, you're asking it questions that maybe like shouldn't get wrong. You know what I mean? Like basic yes or no, like. And then you're going to be able to be very clear of like, your name is clearly Brittany. This answer should clearly be a yes.
Yes, yeah. Because I was thinking like, I would always think clockwise is yes and counterclockwise is no. But, you know, maybe it's easier for your higher self to move the pendulum in one sweeping motion. Yeah. So who knows?
I have had a pendulum for a very long time and I never use it.
Really?
I feel like I just didn't calibrate it correctly. Like, I just don't have trust in it.
Yeah, and that's, like, kind of the basis of all of this.
Yeah, so maybe I'll get there.
Yeah, it's hard. I don't have one. I remember when I got my citrine necklace from Carly Tway, who we have an episode with. Raven, our friend, who we also have an episode with, the astrology one, was saying, like, it would be a great pendulum. And I was just like, that is far beyond my knowledge right now, my wheelhouse. But now I'm kind of interested in it because I have such a connection with this necklace that maybe it would be a strong one, because I do feel like it's kind of like a tarot deck where you need to like spend time with it, maybe keep it in your pocket and like get it on your energy field.
That's a good point. I never really connected that much with this pendulum. I think I thought it was really beautiful, but then
you kind of like left it at the altar.
Yeah.
Maybe you can hang out with her more.
Sorry, girl. Well, now I don't trust her, so.
Okay, well, maybe let's just start anew, give her a little cleansing smoke bath or salt bath and
let it go.
Shake off that negative vibes. Yeah.
I also, speaking of tools I have that I don't use, I have runes.
Oh, yeah, runes I have not delved into yet. I feel like we will do an episode eventually on runes, but it's
very interesting. It's like Viking kind of. Feels
magic,
like, yeah. It's really cool, but I didn't like learn them that much.
Yeah.
Or I haven't been practicing with them, so that's the whole thing. I think the cool part that I like about us doing this podcast is that we are trying to build a community. And I think one of the big reasons I kind of got away from my own personal practices in spirituality and like just overall like mysticism is that like I didn't have my group who I could talk to about these things. Like, and I didn't really like seek that out or anything. So just being able to talk about it more has also like brought these things to light that like I have and I had, but like I'd never used or like got away from using.
Yeah, I feel like it's really, I mean, we could kind of include this as a tool, but to have a community, even if it's just one person that you're kind of getting into with and that you trust, I think it can really expand your practice and your mind, because there'll be times where I just feel very doubtful of everything, like the universe as a whole. I'm like, we're all just gonna die, and I'm like, whatever. And then you talk to your best friend and they're like, nah girl, like you're just going through it. And it's nice to have some outside perspective that understand you.
Yeah.
So try to find communities. There's, we're trying to build one here. There's obviously ones online if you don't know anybody personally in your life. Just make sure you look for those safe spaces.
Yeah, and like listen to episodes and follow the people we've like interviewed and talked about, because they are safe and they are a part of this community that we're trying to build as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, just wanted to say that because
human connection. Yeah, your coven, literally
your coven.
Another one that is just like the easiest tool that I feel like everyone will always use is jars.
We love a mason.
We love a mason jar. You got pickle jars, you got your jam jars, you got your so many jars for containers. You don't have to go buy mason jars or clean empty jars, but they are relatively cheap, and you can keep your herbs. Is it herbs or herbs?
I say
herbs. You could keep spices, you could keep crystals, you could keep your spells in them. They're just great. I bought a mini tiny ones for spell work.
Yeah, little spell jars.
Little spell jars. They're super cheap from the craft store, like a couple dollars, It's just a great way to compartmentalize your spells and like have them visually in front of you. And it's also great just to get that organization down.
Yeah, I always love to save my little jars because I also don't know who I want to make a miniature bouquet for. Yeah.
I have like a candle, one of those cylinder candles that I've saved. And I'm like, maybe I'll try to make my own candle with this. Like I cleaned it out and, maybe start anew. So I think it's, again, can lead to even more craft work, which is fun.
It's fun because then you're so much more connected to like that spell or whatever you're doing. Like I like to watercolor paper before I like write things on it that I'm trying to keep, or like watercolor the feeling of like what I'm trying to give away, and those watercolors look completely different, I tell you that. And I think that even just like puts that much more power into those exercises that you're doing, and whatever that means for you. Maybe you doodle all over it, maybe you like
grab a silver Sharpie and write on the outside of jars. It doesn't have to be some perfect thing. You can literally just scribble on it, or maybe if you like collaging like Kate does, you can print it out with your printer and make your own label. There's so many options for you. And I really think it's important in any of your practices to like personalize it for yourself.
Yeah, because then it's just so much more meaningful. There's so much more intention.
It's going to resonate, and it's more fun.
Yeah.
Another thing that we mentioned as a tool is your herbs and your spices and your spell work. A lot of it you can already find in your kitchen, and you can use your spell work in your cooking. Salt is a very cleansing thing. Black pepper is great for banishing. Cinnamon's great for manifesting. Like, these are all things that are pretty common in your kitchen. So you don't have to go out and buy mugwort or like myrrh and like these crazy scent.
Yeah.
You can use the bay leaf that's in your shelf right now.
Yeah.
Which I think is really cool.
Or the turmeric or whatever.
A cinnamon stick, like they might already be there.
And then mortar and pest. Is that how you say that?
Yes, I have that one down. A mortar and pestle.
Pestle.
Yes. Which is basically a tool that's a bowl and a stick looking thing that's used to grind down these herbs and spices that you're working with to make spell jars. I made my black salt with that, which is just like a mixture of salt and pepper and charcoal and ash from your incense and different stuff like that, which is like a really powerful tool to keep on your altar. Black salt.
Yeah, and I like the black salt. I use like, I don't know if you participate in any 420 activities, but I use like ash from the joint style smoke, or I don't know, whatever.
Different things that resonate with you.
Yeah.
The
circle of life, baby. We gotta pull a tarot.
We have to pull a tarot, but I think that's pretty much the tools of the trade that we can think of right now. If we forgot anything, feel free to email us or contact us on Instagram. Both are going to be listed in the description box. Okay, let's think about this Virgo full moon what intentions
What
we
kind
should
of
have.
energies? Yeah.
How should we prepare?
Collective reading. I love this little goat.
Oh, let's just go like this.
Okay.
Are you kidding me?
You cannot.
No. I think that my spirit guides are playing a goddamn joke on me.
You should
Did you?
pick another.
I can.
So funny.
I cannot believe that. Okay, for those of you who are listening and with us visually, I pulled the Knight of Pentacles, and I think last episode
as well.
did I talk about it though, or did I just talk to you personally about it, like after we ended?
I think I might have cut it.
Okay, I'm just gonna say it. I have pulled the Knight of Pentacles almost every single time I have pulled tarot, and I am shuffling, baby. I am shuffling for the gods, and obviously that my spirit team just really wants me to keep working hard.
Working the bumblebee labors away.
Yep.
Atop the honeycomb. The
Persistence.
process. Yeah.
It's
Stay with the process.
It's funny because persistence, it's not something I struggle with. You know, I'm a hard worker. It is, though. I actually had something happen to me this weekend, and I cried. And I don't cry often. And I was thinking, like, God, when am I just gonna get my big break? Like, when can I put in a lot of work when it comes to auditioning for, like, acting and stuff like that. And I was just feeling run down and feeling burnt out. So it's funny that they said that again, like, keep working. And I'm like, all right. You know, I didn't mean it for a message for me, but
I feel like so often it's like the darkest before the dawn. You know what I mean? Of like, when you are at that lowest point, they're like, okay, and so do you really want to fucking do this?
Yeah, like really making sure that I'm in it to win it. I feel like that card was for me and not the collective. I'm sorry, guys. It's just, they keep throwing it in my face.
It doesn't have to be so rigid, though. All the work.
Don't give me that look.
I'm absorbing your energy right now. It's coming out of my own eyes.
Why are you crying?
Because your feelings, they really came out.
You could feel them?
Yeah, bitch.
I haven't even told you what happened to me this weekend yet.
No, but it's deep.
Yeah, it was really frustrating. Okay, this is for the collective, not me. The Chariot.
Dang, that one
I feel like I pulled this too.
Got too.
It's so crazy. Why do I not pull different cards?
It's like seasons. You know, you always get the same ones for seasons of your life.
Like, you see me shuffling.
Yeah, I did.
I be shuffling, okay?
She definitely is shuffling, you guys. But the Chariot is telling us to keep on keeping on. But it's also like, maybe we're going to chariot ride into that next astrological new year.
Self-confidence, progress. I feel like it's the same as the Knight of Pentacles, but with like a positive...
Yeah, it's like, you know...
Like with more power behind it.
No passivity, no resting on your laurels. It just kind of goes along with that worker bee. Mm-hmm. There's challenges, but you're ready. And whether that journey is metaphorical or literal, forge on bravely. Like, so many times we let fear stop us. And, like, you always know, like, the thing that is stopping you from doing whatever you fucking want is probably fear. So many times it is. Resistance
deep down. I've been reading this book, listening to The War of Art, and basically it's just saying that the enemy of everything is resistance, which is resistance shows up as fear, it shows up as procrastination, it shows up as doubt, you know, those types of things. So anytime that you're not going after the goals or the things you know that are truly going to make you happy, how can you figure out why you're resisting it? I think that's a really interesting tool.
Yeah, I agree. I think that just identifying that it's there is also like a huge step in even going forward with it. I feel like tarot is kind of telling us that it also identifies how hard you've been working and how hard it might be to change those things and to keep moving forward. But now
change isn't always positive. You know, it can feel like an obstacle. It can feel like a challenge.
Yeah, it can be a breakup. It can be a move out. It can be
you got fired.
Yeah. And it hurts.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah, it hurts. But you're going to be stronger. You're going to be better and keep on. And we love you.
We love you guys. Thank you for joining us again on another episode of The Fools.
Bye, fancy fools.
Bye, guys.